people were just shifting the blame to me. These questions of why they were using it, I was not involved. I started being involved in January. So I was not involved from May up until December. So I want to put it clear that if Mr. Herman Soholela or his bosses come here, they will have to explain why they were using it without the knowledge of APSS. So I was not involved in that one.
Without your knowledge, because you are the coordinator according to that 2023.
Yes,
city
coordinator
manager
and
document.
command.
Coordinator.
Overall coordinator and command. In fact, they wanted to say overall coordinator and commander. Yes. Let me start again. The Water and Sanitation Department specifically mandated the use of GUBI's 85 Solution Pty Ltd, citing that they were already utilizing this service provider services and refused to engage multiple different service providers for budgetary and administrative reasons. In fact, the department was already utilizing GUBIs before I was even involved. And I'm aware there were existing prior invoices for approximately, now I'm thinking to myself because I once saw an email. That's why I say approximately 2 million generated by GUBIs for service rendered to the department. What I'm explaining here is that they were using it and the services were not paid. Hence, when I listened to the CFO, the owner or Andrew Kwadi wrote an email about it. And from May to now they are talking around November or December. They are talking about this. What I'm saying, they are utilizing. And I think the CFO outlined it very clear that the department instructed, we were not involved, the APSS were not involved at this stage. Is then that they are not paid for, I think, 7 months that they start talking about it. But now they include it to the next year, but I will explain further.
You're referring to the CFO's evidence in this commission?
In this commission.
Mr. Mnis's evidence in this commission?
Yes, of which he was talking about financial years and accruals and that May could not be paid because the new financial year came in and then it was already on the new financial year.
Yes, we have that evidence.
Yes.
I just wanted to be clear that it's not something that happened in the city. You are referring to evidence.
I'm referring to the commission evidence that was given by the CFO. Now I'm going to paragraph 13. Furthermore, the Water and Sanitation Department had already made promises to GUBIs that they will commence work on the night of 31st December 2024. GUBI's personnel were essentially already working and deployed to sites prior to me issuing the official deployment letter. As the paying end user department, the department dictated their preferred service provider and mandate was strictly limited to facilitating the base of their operational instruction. The basis, I wanted to say the basis of their operational instruction. I see I said annexure 4 here. Can I look at it? And, oh, this is where Mr. Herman sent this is when we had the meeting with Mr. Herman to speak about the deployments before the updated list can come on page 10 on January 6th.
it's about you being ordered to convene that meeting.
Yes. And then knowing that Gubis will be working in those sites. Now remember, on the 31st, they have already hired the staff. What they are waiting for is for me to see them. The reason is that when I say as the paying end user, I should have said as the paying end user, business entity, water and sanitation. They've been working with Gubis, now they want to continue working with Gubis. And there's nothing wrong about that. I think this question answers the question of, I think, impropriety, why Gubis was given so many sites. Gubis was not given many sites by APSS Inspector Phiri. It was given sites by the department, the management of the Department of Water and Sanitation, through their representative, Mr. Herman Scholela.
Where does the power lie to select a service provider? Does it lie with the department in this context, with the department or with your section?
In my 15 years experience at Protection Services, which is now called Watchman Services and APSS, it lies with us when we allocate to them. But on ad hoc services, a person will request, let's say, power station. He will come to us and say, guys, you have company X. Now, company X works at the power station with 5 guards at day and 10 guards at night. But now I'm going to deliver 50 mini-subs. And your guards that you allocated to me, they are manning the gate and other premises in the power station. Now, what I need from you is that I need physical security and control for those mini-subs. Now, for that to happen, I need 4 guards on the entrance and 2 guards at the exit. It's just an example. But then at that power station, company X is already there. So in our language, we call it double packing. You cannot bring another, he will tell you, you cannot bring another company to come and work with company X, and then you bring company Z. Accountability will be lost there. But if you bring this company, I will be able to hold them responsible if one mini-sub goes missing. Now, logic dictates he's right, because accountability will remain with one company. It will be able to penalize them if that 2 million mini-sub goes. But if, let's say, a tender is approved today, and then we include that duty in that tender, we allocate now, because the budget that belonged to Watchman Services is centralized. So if we already have 50 reservoirs that must be, let's take a typical example of this one, where it's 37 reservoirs and pump stations. If we have them now, the department is not going to pay any longer. But because when they requested at that time, they were using their GL account and their cost center, they allocated a certain company. But if now the guards are 10-day, 15 night, it will come from the budget of the TMPD, no longer from the budget of electricity for power station. So we only allocate at that stage. But immediately when they decide to increase security, it becomes another story. So on this one, the anomaly was that the reservoirs and pump stations were scattered all over 7 regions. But water and sanitation decided to use only Gubis. And for their reasons, which are unknown to me, but I can think that they are competent.
Just to make sure I understand the response, when I asked my question earlier, I put it in general terms.
Yes.
Let me be more direct now and ask whether water and sanitation had the power to select Gubis. Could they say Gubis and no other entity deploy Gubis? Did they have the power to do that?
I can't find a synonym for power, but I can.
Legal entitlement within municipal prescripts.
I've never came across it. Why the invoice was not paid, the 2024 one, I want to say this.
I'm not there.
No.
If maybe think about it and come back to it after the tea adjournment.
So this shows that I'm not acting ultra vires. Someone is acting ultra vires. And command and control says, go and say, make sure it's 6 days, 6 nights, and a vehicle with armed guards. And I get there, I fight 6 days, and I send the monitoring team, go and check at night, is it 6 days, and one vehicle, they say, hey, Ndona is 6 days, 6 nights. Mine is done.
You're not being asked for a recommendation in 18. It's already done because
It's already
they are
done.
saying the deployment will happen 1800 hours as follows.
Yes,
So it will happen.
it will happen.
You're not being asked to recommend whether it's necessary.
No.
And perhaps to round off the point, you would not have been involved in the assessment and the recommendation of this particular one
No.
because you came after.
Yes, I came after, and then it was clear to me. Remember, people, when they refer to me, they say I'm a junior member. And I'm sitting here with my supervisor, the director, and I don't know what position is an engineering consultant. I cannot assume anything. But when they say that, you understand what they are saying. You must just go and see that this happens. But that I will outline again later.
16, in your paragraph 16,
Yes.
you say the notice, your first batch of deployment notices was on the 14th of January.
Yes.
And officially became effective on the 15th of January, 2025. That's what you say in 16. But Director Malachi's email
Yes.
at page 18
Yes.
says the deployment starts on the 7th
Yes.
of January. So I'm trying to understand the relationship between this page 18 email
Yes.
and your saying the deployment notices became effective on the 15th of January.
Commissioner, I also saw that after my statement. But to be clear, I remember that on the 14th, the thing is, I don't have the actual invoice. I might have said effective 15th, and they have started on the 7th. But already on the 7th, I knew that they were on site. Yeah, but because I was going around, remember it's no longer 2, It's a first batch, which is about, I can't remember, 15 or 17 or something. Now I'm still going around checking the batch that I have. And when I write this, if I have seen the actual invoice, I would have known that what happened there.
Can I just try and summarize what I think you're saying?
Yes,
You're saying you issued your notice on the 14th, and,
Yes.
and therefore,
The deployment
and it becomes effective on the 15th.
Yes.
Right? Regardless of the fact that these have already deployed on the 7th of January.
On the
Your
7th.
notice is the 14th, and it will
Yes.
be effective the next day.
yes. I'm saying to them, this is effective on the 15th.
Yes.
But remember, my deployment letter is give effect
Yes.
to working.
Yes.
But the actual invoice, the company might dispute my
Yes. I
my
understand.
letter and say, but we started, and then bring evidence to that effect.
Yes, I understand. You did not backdate your deployment letter to fit in with the actual deployment. That's
No,
really it.
I did not, because I wanted it to be on that day when I meet, I think Kumalo, or,
Yes,
yes,
I understand. Thank you.
thanks.
And how was that to sit comfortably with what's at page 18 by Mr. Malachi, which says the guards were to be deployed with effect from 7 January? How would your stipulation that effective 15 January, how would that sit comfortably with the 7th of January in Mr. Malachi's email? Just to understand, I'm not...
Yes, commissioners, remember now, they are at my mercy, and I'm telling them, I must go there. But when this question comes, I'm thinking to myself, because I didn't see the invoice, they might have deployed on the 7th, because now they are now CC'd on this email. Even if I say to them, effective from the 15th, if we check that my deployment letter, they might take it and dispute it with their evidence, because already they have the sheets that guards were there and stuff, and then they can use the date.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Sigiri?